Okay, I want to show that these puppies can calm down and be friendly and loving because they've been playing for like a half hour now. So we got one pooped out over here. I just did a video and they were all going crazy. What this video is going to be about is how to prepare when you get a puppy from me. I got my little list here, so I hope we don't forget anything. The food that I am choosing to use right now, I don't want to even mention because I might change that. So whatever food it is, I'll let you know when you're getting a puppy from me what that food is. And you have a choice of either using that food, and I like to use a food that's all life stages. That's what I think is, you know, more appropriate, because that way, I used to not do that, but then I realized there are some good ones out there that are, and that might change in the future, and I might not be using it, but right now that's where I'm going with, because it's good, because then if you have adults in the home, then they can eat the same food. But you can switch. You can start off 80% or so of the food that I give you, because I'll give you about a pound, and you can just blend it into whatever you want to use. See how loving they get after they've played. They love me. All right, how much to feed? I just free feed, because they're little guys. You don't want them to get hypoglycemic. And if you do the things that I tell you to do, they're not going to get hypoglycemic, because it's very easy to. And the main reason that they won't get hypoglycemic is that you're going to use goat's milk. That stuff is the best. You can get it at Publix in the refrigerated section. I'm sure other stores have it as well. And you just heat it up a little bit, and I put it right next to their canned food that they have down. I like put it in the same plate, and they just love it. And that keeps them hydrated, and it has calories in it, lots of calories, and it keeps them from getting hypoglycemic. It's just the best. So you're all pooped out too. Okay. And you can also get powdered goat's milk. That's what I use, because that way you have more of it in the freezer. But if you only have one puppy, you could just get 1 quart of the goat's milk, and by the time that's gone, you won't need it anymore. Okay, and when you're leaving here, some people come here and they got a 3-hour drive and they don't bring a carrier. You can't do that. You have to have a carrier. And the further the drive is, the bigger the carrier, because you want to be able to have a blanket area and pee-pee pad area. They're used to going on pee-pee pads. Like that right there, that kind of setup is what they have. They have the pee-pee pad, or they have the plastic device. I kind of wean them away from that plastic device. Like right now I have it in the puppy room, but when they're in their playpen, they have it at the beginning to learn how to use it, and then I take it away, because I prefer the reusable pee-pee pads. And I get them trained on both, because I know some people don't want to put those in their washing machine, but a lot of people don't care. And so they're trained to go on that. So if you have this 3-hour ride home, don't pull over and try to let them go potty. Because first of all, they're not going to go. They're not trained to go potty outside. They're not leash trained. So if you go and put a harness on them, it's going to freak them out. They're going to break out, going potty. That's a good boy. That is a good boy. Yes. This is a very good boy. This is my little puppy number 9. Well, by the time you see this video, it might be years later, but if it's current, that was a little 9. So anyhow, you don't want to pull over and let him or her go potty outside. First of all, it's not going to happen. Second, they're going to try to get out of their harness. And if the older they are, like if they're, let's say 12, 13 weeks old, you can't outrun them. They'll take off like a bullet at the rest area. Had it happen. Somebody called me and said that they almost lost their puppy, and it took like a concerted effort by like 20 people to get that puppy back. Sweetest, friendliest, happiest little puppy. But he didn't listen, and he tried to let him go potty. So bring a carrier, and you want them in the back seat, in the carrier. I mean, you can do what you want with your puppy, but I'm telling you, I know, because one time I hit the brakes real hard and I wasn't putting them in a carrier. I mean, I wasn't putting them in the, latching them up with the seatbelt, and that carrier went flying when I hit the brakes, and I didn't even hit the brakes that hard. So, you want to protect them. Just all you got to do is hook the seatbelt through, and you got them in there. The temperature of your house. I keep my house at 77 degrees because I always have puppies in here, and I can't have it too cold because some of the infants can't handle it. So that's what your puppy will be used to. If you put it a lot colder, they might, might get cold. You might want to have like a little heating thing for them, a little heating blanket or something. So just let you know the temperature. Fleas and heartworm preventative. I go over that with everybody when they come over here. I don't have fleas most of the time. Every once in a while I'll get a flea outbreak, and if I do get a flea outbreak, that's when I use flea medication, and that's the only time I use it because it's bad for their liver, and it's toxic. So why give it to a dog that doesn't have fleas? It makes no sense, especially these little tiny ones. And I've seen vets prescribe to some of my customers to a little tiny puppy that weighs 3 pounds. Oh, they're 4 months old. Let's get them on this Simpetico Trio or whatever. And it says right on the thing that you got to wait till they're 4 pounds. So no, they don't. If you don't have fleas, don't use it. And if you do have fleas, you want to give the heartworm medication, and then you want to give the flea medication separate 2 weeks later. So it's not so much toxins at once shooting at their liver. So we can discuss that if you want to know more about it. And I usually do go over it more when people come over here. I go to bed at like 8 o'clock. So at the latest. And I wake up around 4 or 5. So that's what they're used to. And I'm sorry, because most people don't do that. But I'm also, I have a 2-acre fruit farm over here and a little bit of vegetables, and I'm outside trying to beat the heat, and I like to walk the dogs in my little stroller in the morning before it gets too hot. So I do a lot in the morning. It takes me an hour when I wake up just to get everybody fed and cleaned up, and so I get up early, and that's just the way it is. But you can adjust everything, with them. You just gotta do it, they'll slowly do your schedule. It's just how it works. You get used to things. And they sleep a lot. These little babies do sleep a lot. You can't have this thing. No, he wants my paper or my paper towel. They're gonna cry. Okay. And if you cater to them, they're gonna cry more. So just keep that in mind. And it lasts about 1 or 2 nights. And if you take a crate, the same one that you use to, or a little one, preferably, but maybe it might be the same one that you use to come pick up the puppy with. Why aren't you sleeping on the blanket? You can put that crate in your bed, and that kind of makes them not want to cry because, they're next to you because they've gotten to where they know you a little bit, throughout the day they've been with you. So you can do that, and that can help. Now, they're trained to go potty in a playpen area like this with their little pee-pee pad thing. Okay, now in this room, when I first start letting them in this room, they kind of just go all over. But by the time they're 8 weeks old, they're pretty much going right over there where they're supposed to go. But when they go to your house, if you just open up your house and, they're just running all around the whole house, there's no telling where they're going to go. So you got to establish where you want them to go, watch them, make sure that's where they're going before you just start letting them run and have full terrain in your house. And if you have carpet, if you have like the type of carpet that you could pick up pieces of it, I would pick up your carpet because you can always put it back down later. And that way they don't pee on it, because once they start to pee on something, they're going to want to continue to pee on something. So pick that up. Don't have that be an issue, and they're pretty easy to train once they realize. And if you if you have another dog and you put some urine or use a used one of those pee-pee things, they just naturally want to go right to it because they smell the urine, just like they would if they peed on a carpet and want to go back there. So you can put urine on there to get them to run right to it. And if you don't have any dog urine, you can use cat urine, you can use human urine. I mean, urine works. So, just saying. Now let's see. What else do I have? Oh, they are right now these guys have played and they're all worn out, and that's not how they always are. If you look at some of my other, like the video that I just did of these guys where they were flying all over the place, if you're holding them in your lap, they might decide that they just want to fly. Actually, I'll say they will decide that they want to just fly. So you got to be prepared for that, especially if you have a tile floor, because you could casually go to pick them up and the puppy could be dead. Or the puppy could have an injured leg that cost you $5,000 at the emergency room. And speaking of that, I go over pet insurance. And the pet insurance that I am currently recommending is Fetch. I like it because they don't make you buy the wellness package, and if they change their tune on that, I might not like them as much anymore, but they're cheaper than everybody else because of that, because I don't believe people really need to pay so much to have wellness, because wellness most people can afford. You know, going and getting your shots and whatever, you can afford that, most people, at least my customers can. So the best thing to do is to get the Fetch, where you don't get the wellness. And at the time of this video, their prices went up, and so it's like $500. My zip code is like $560 a year, and I get $10,000 worth of coverage, 90% coverage, and $300 deductible. And I really like it. It covers a lot of problems that can come up, pretty much all the problems that can come up, and I highly recommend it. The shots, they're going to have their first shot at 8 weeks, and then at 12 weeks, if I still have them, they get another one, and then at 16, if I still have them, they get the third, and the rabies. That's 3 vet visits. If your vet tells you you need 4 vet visits, that's not the case. Not according to my vet, who is really highly respected, and he's been a vet for like 50 years, and he does it 3 times. So you'll just need to go however many times, and I'll let you know that date. And people like to rush to the vet. Oh, let me just, I got the puppy just got the health certificate on Friday, I'm getting the puppy on Sunday, and I've got an appointment on Monday to go straight to my vet. Why? Doesn't make any sense. The puppy does not need shots, and I don't have anything written on the health guarantee that says you have to get to a vet, because I discourage it. Because when you have a dog that has parvo, where do you take the dog? To the vet, to that spotless, clean, nice vet's office. That's where you take the parvo dog. And a lot of times people will come in there with a litter of puppies, and they don't know that their puppies have parvo until a few days later, and they brought parvo into the office, and then you're coming in next with your puppy that hasn't had the 3 vaccines yet. You're not fully vaccinated until 3 vaccines and about a week later. So my suggestion is don't rush the vet visit. Go when the shot is due, and go first thing in the morning if you can, because that's when everything's the cleanest. That's when their shirts are the cleanest. I don't let them put my puppies up against their shirts. They know me, and they already know not to do that, because I'm petrified of parvo, and it's probably the reason why in 33 years at the time of this video I have not had parvo. And it's amazing. I'm in Florida, so I'm very careful and very concerned. And I hope I didn't forget anything. If I did, just ask me and we'll go over it. But that's kind of, what to expect when you bring home a puppy. Oh, and I give a probiotic with every puppy. And what that does is it settles their stomach, so the bad bacteria doesn't take over and cause them to lose their appetite or cause them to get loose stools. And it's really been a godsend for my peace of mind when these puppies leave. I don't get these phone calls like I did 20 years ago before I started doing it, that my puppy is not eating or puppy's hypoglycemic. That doesn't happen anymore. So I give that with every puppy. And between that and the goat's milk, don't have to worry about hypoglycemia with me. And I'm really good at personalities. So these puppies have great personalities, and they're not so afraid when they go to your house. Look how cute these guys are, so sleepy. Okay, hopefully I got that all. I know it's a long video, but if you're getting a puppy from me, it was worth watching it, hopefully.